Hello, everyone. We're live again for a market recap. I have some more links and some tweets to show for some current market news. First, let me share the link in our Discord. If you're watching this afterwards, make sure join our Discord. We post everything there, and then if you have any questions, you can drop them in there. I'll throw this in here 1 second. Okay, so first we can go over just current price here. Let me put this here for you. Bitcoin is looking good. The recovery is looking pretty healthy. Currently, we are back up to 94,000, almost 95. I'm not sure if we wicked it. No, we have not hit 95, but yeah, we are currently back at 94K after obviously touching all the way as low as 80K. We didn't go anything under 80K, which is nice, but yeah, we're currently in an uptrend. This is the daily chart. We can switch, like, this is the weekly chart here. Yeah, you can see we smashed through 100K. Now we are at 94, which is nice. We are seeing a good reversal. Hopefully we will continue seeing a good reversal up back over 100K by hopefully the end of the month. So the end of 2025 into 2026, if we're sitting at that 100K mark, would be very nice to see. Same kind of situation with Ethereum. Ethereum's now at 3371 after dipping all the way down almost to 2500. But yeah, we're coming back up slowly. We see that here. Similar thing. Here's the total crypto market cap. But yeah, Bitcoin's looking good. Bitcoin dominance is 59%. But yeah, we can jump into some of these tweets. Here, so this is from CoinMarketCap. Over 400,000 Bitcoin have moved off exchanges since December 2024, with ETFs and public companies now holding more BTC than all exchanges combined, according to Sentiment. A lot of people are moving their Bitcoin to self-custody. A lot of people just use the exchanges to buy their Bitcoin, but I have also seen a lot of news the other way where people would rather, I guess not on exchanges, but here people moving them off exchanges. That most likely just means they're going to cold storage, personal storage. But a lot of people who do hold their own Bitcoin have sold them and bought Bitcoin ETFs because they would rather hold it through an ETF, so it can be tied to their bank and it is insured. So it takes away that layer of the layer of security that you have to put in yourself, so you're not worried about losing your Bitcoin by getting hacked or by getting robbed, losing your seed phrase. But yeah, a lot of people are. This is just personal preference, honestly. At the end of the day, yeah. Here's just some Bitcoin news. Bitcoin has now entered the key resistance zone from 93K to 97K. There's not a lot of resistance after that until 106. A break above 97 would be highly significant and would confirm a clear upward trend shift and increase the odds of a major bottom for this mid-bull cycle bear dip that we're in right now. But yeah, we can see here, I'll make this bigger. This resistance zone right here. Yeah, like he was saying, between 93 to 97. We have just in here, this is, when was this? This was at 11:13. Yeah, this was about an hour ago. So yeah, we have just entered this zone if we can break through over 97, like I was saying at the start, it would be huge to see a break over 100K by the end of this month. If we're pushing through 100K by year end, it should set us up nicely for the opening months of 2026. So we'll see how we play through this in the next couple days. But Bitcoin is looking strong currently. Sentiment is rising. We can actually check right now. I'll go to Coin Market Cap, the Fear and Greed Index. Fear and Greed chart, I guess. Currently at 25%. We are out of the extreme fear, which is nice. Here we can see the graph here. Out of the extreme fear, just currently sitting in fear, but in this uptrend, hopeful to see us push through to neutral. I believe that should be around 100K, 105K. We should be feeling nice and neutral around there. But currently, yeah, we are growing. We are in a good spot currently. But yeah, if anyone has any price predictions for Bitcoin by the end of this month, well, basically by year end, drop them in the chat and we can check those out. But yeah, here just Bitcoin rips to 93, over 93K. This was also an hour ago. Currently at currently at 94. So yeah, we're continuing to rise past 93, currently at 94. This is big for Bitcoin. We can continue here. Yeah, Michael Saylor. A lot of news, Michael Saylor. When isn't there a lot of news about Michael Saylor? He's been buying up Bitcoin left and right. We could pull up. Oh, let me just pull this up on the side so we could check it later. The MicroStrategy buys, because I believe they bought a lot more Bitcoin, which is pretty obvious after these drops. But yeah, Saylor says China will copy the United States Bitcoin strategy. Global Bitcoin adoption is accelerating into 2026. This is huge news also. Obviously, Trump has been very vocal by trying to be the number one Bitcoin country. Obviously, the United States. Only one close is China. Obviously, China are huge on crypto. So honestly, if they keep going back and forth by trying to become crypto superpower, that just makes it better for everyone else. The more people exposed to crypto, the better for the community. And you'll see, we've seen this time and time again. More countries are starting their own exchanges, starting their own funds, Bitcoin funds, ETFs, and slowly but surely, every country will be exposed, and it's just a matter of time. Obviously, you don't think you're early, but consider yourself early. But yeah, we have some more Michael Saylor. Michael Saylor says all major US banks have contacted him for Bitcoin advice. Another huge statement, because we did get that Trump statement that they are looking to upgrade, or I guess reformat the whole financial system, and potentially indicating a crypto Bitcoin solution, because the US financial system has been obviously the same for I don't think it's been changed honestly since it started. But yeah, it is in need of a revamp, and everything is pointing towards a Bitcoin crypto fix, which is massive. So stay tuned for this, because yeah, a lot of the US banks, have another source for some banks that are changing up their policies and adding Bitcoin and crypto into it. But yeah, obviously, if you're trying to get some Bitcoin advice, Michael Saylor is definitely the right person to go to. 100%. So hopefully we'll be seeing more banks and just financial solutions with Bitcoin. Buying anything with crypto, it does seem like a change that is happening. Yeah, here Like this is just continuing on that. Michael Saylor says the following US banks are now issuing credit against Bitcoin: Citibank, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, BNY Mellon, yeah, Charles Schwab, Bank of America. These are huge. So basically now you can, I believe, yeah, this should be all current. You are able to issue, they are issuing credit against Bitcoin, so you can use Bitcoin as collateral for credit, and they're continuing to do that. The more they do this, this is coming closer to soon. You'll probably be able to get BTC loans from banks, whether that be through ETFs or however they manage that. But slowly but surely, every step is a step in the right direction. So this is definitely a good step for everybody. Obviously, you'll see more and more banks and more countries starting to do this. After the US does it, a lot of other countries follow suit because they don't want to be late to the party. Here we have here's a longer clip though. SEC Chairman Paul Atkins predicts U.S. financial system may run under blockchain in a couple of years. This is what I was just talking about, but this is Paul Atkins talking about it. We can play this.
Tokenization is the idea of using then smart contracts or tokens on chain to be able to that represent, say, an underlying security, and so then that tokenized security is a security and would be subject to SEC rules by law. But the idea is that if it's on chain, on a blockchain, then there's much more transparency as to where it is. Right now, there's a bit of opacity as to who owns what and where the company usually doesn't even know where its who its shareholders are and where the shareholders reside, where the shares reside. So tokenization has the benefit of potentially having, instead of T+1 now trade date +1 for clearance and settlement, the prospect of maybe T0 now, depending on the instrument, and we have to think about netting and all sorts of other things with respect to some instruments. But in principle, the idea of on-chain delivery versus payment and receipt versus payment, DVP, RVP on-chain, is a prospect of de-risking the markets, making them much more transparent and then sure as far as clearance and settlement, because it's always that the gap between clearance and settlement and then delivery and payment is the real introduces risk into the system.
Do you expect this is where financial services is going? Are the major banks and the brokers out there today moving increasingly toward tokenization?
Oh, absolutely. And it's the way the world will be, here in maybe not even in 10 years, maybe even a lot less time, maybe a couple of years from now. So I think that all of this modernization of the markets, I think, is good. And the trouble that we've seen here over the past few years is that the SEC, unlike historically, it never was necessarily at the vanguard of pushing new innovations. It was always a little bit behind the market, of course. But here recently, it's been almost standing athwart the marketplace, and as it's as all these new innovations were coming about. So that's no more. We're actually embracing it, and I believe that we need to be embracing it to keep the United States at the forefront. As far as cryptocurrencies and whatnot, there were really only 2 countries in the world here in the last.
Yeah, we got the gist of it. A little long clip, but yeah. Sorry. Paul Atkins basically saying this is where most financial systems are headed. Obviously, the U.S. financial system, we can see adoption of this starting in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. Like it's not a matter of if they'll do it. It's a matter of when they'll get around to doing it. So we'll be seeing if this. I could definitely see this starting to take effect within the next year. They already saw like the Bitcoin ETFs and ETH ETFs are about a year, or I guess Bitcoin ETFs are about a year old, and those have been doing very well. BlackRock has ETF IBIT has been doing very good, and obviously people are buying and selling it with this drop. A lot of outflows, but the inflows definitely outweigh the outflows. We can check those charts in a second, but yeah, here I was looking at this at the bottom here. Badger. Just want to see if he's a good account. But yeah, maybe in 1 year, Paul. But here, this is the image he shared. This is crypto adoption by institution. So here's just all the basically U.S. banks, and it just shows how they've adopted crypto currently. Crypto trading and custody, basically almost everything but Citi, MasterCard, Morgan Stanley, Visa, and Wells Fargo. Private crypto funds, which is huge. Just BlackRock, Fidelity, Franklin Templeton, JP Morgan Chase, Morgan Stanley, and Wells Fargo. Crypto ETPs, this is almost all of them. Crypto enabled payments, about half, maybe a little less. And then tokenization, almost all of them. But you can see the crypto adoption has been increasing. And then obviously give this another year. If the whole financial system is taking a blockchain approach, you'll just see this continuing to happen, and they will continue pushing Bitcoin and crypto with these all these banks and institutions. Here's CZ tweet about just a retweet on Russian President Putin says that nobody can ban Bitcoin. Let the nation state games begin. I don't know if this is
биткоин. Кто может запретить?
I guess it's
Никто. А использование других электронных
But yeah, every country is coming out and showing the power of Bitcoin and crypto and the blockchain. So sound like a broken record while I keep pushing this well, not narrative, but keep pushing this idea that every country is slowly but surely getting into Bitcoin. It's not even an idea, it's just true. You'll see this. The biggest countries, the US, Russia, China, they're all taking Bitcoin and blockchain very seriously, and that just shows you where it's going in the future. Here are some more news. Actually, let me fix this. There you go. Jack Mallers 21 Capital goes live on the NYSE today, and is now the third largest public Bitcoin company with 43,500 BTC worth $4 billion. That I think I had the list. Let me pull up the list. Bitcoin company. Let's get the name of it. Holdings. We check this almost every stream. Bitcoin treasuries. I like the other view. We'll just use this one. Here. So this is, yeah, public companies that own Bitcoin. This should be updated currently. This Bitcoin, or this bitbo.io/treasuries. But yeah, we can see here public companies that own Bitcoin. Obviously, MicroStrategy. This is why I want to check how much they've bought, because I swear they just hit 600K. It was 650. But now they're at 650K Bitcoin, like number of Bitcoins, which is huge. They alone, like MicroStrategy alone owns 3%, almost 3.1% of the total supply, which is like, if you just think of that, it's absolutely crazy. 3% of the full supply is valued at $61 billion. But yeah, it's already updated. 21 Capital just listed on the NASDAQ. And yeah, they are hold 0.177%, worth 3.52 billion. So yeah, 37. It's the same as the tweet. The tweet says 43. Here it's listed 37. Maybe it just hasn't updated. But yeah, you can see here the basically almost all US countries or US companies, Metaplanet Japanese and Hunt 8 Core Canadian, and then here's some German. But yeah, I saw another tweet. Oh yeah, it's right here. This tweet here from CoinGecko. Fun fact: public companies now own over 5% of Bitcoin total supply, with strategy alone holding 3%. Yeah, like we go back here, you can see. I don't know if they tally it up at the bottom here, but yeah, here. Well, here says 4.8%. I'm not sure if this is the top 100, but yeah, almost 5%. About 95 billion, and obviously 3% of this is just coming from strategy alone. That's why Michael Saylor is such a huge name in crypto. Yeah, they hold over 1 million Bitcoin. Collectively, 650K is MicroStrategy. Here's another interesting one. Countries and governments that own Bitcoin. USA holds almost 200,000 Bitcoin. That's about almost 1% of the 21 million supply. That's valued at 18 billion. Almost the same exact number for China. You can see how they're going head to head. Basically, 18.33 billion. That's also almost 1%. But yeah, and then we can see the UK, Ukraine, Bhutan, El Salvador, Finland, Georgia, Roswell, New Mexico. Wow. I guess New Mexico is how much? That's valued 18,000. I guess there's not that many countries themselves who are holding, but here's some private companies: BitMEX, Block One, Mt. Gox. But and then here are the ETFs. This is IBIT. This is BlackRock's ETF, which is by far the biggest ETF. They're holding about 3.694% of the total supply, valued at 73 billion. Obviously, this is just people who are buying the ETF. And then there's a bunch of other ETFs, US ETFs, obviously BlackRock's IBIT being the biggest. Yeah, and then I want to check here is the MicroStrategy Bitcoin holding chart. I just want to see how recent their buys have been. There's only been one buy here listed in December, which is this one right here. This is December 1st. They bought 130 Bitcoin, which is low. Like related to the price. 48 billion. I guess it's just the same amount they bought on November. Wow, that's crazy. But how did they buy 8,000? Oh, sorry, I was looking at the wrong thing. This is just their total. I thought they were buying for the same amount, but no. Now they're at, I guess they bought 130 just to round that total to 650,000 Bitcoin. So let's continue. Yeah. Yeah, they've been stacking. You can just see this is the chart, which is crazy. Go back to here, see if there's any changes. Yeah, Bitcoin basically at around 94K. ETH still pushing up, almost at 3,400. Obviously, we can hope to keep that pushing. Solana at 144. We'll see. Hopefully, people bought. If you're in the chat, let me know if you guys bought any Bitcoin on this dip, or if you have any price predictions. Currently, actually, let me pull up this giveaway. Task on. We are. Sorry. Trying to find our task on campaign. Blockchain academics. But yeah, currently we are we have a giveaway currently running that because I'll pull up the YouTube here for you guys so we can just see the exact here. Got it here. So we are currently at you can see at the top of the screen also we are at 46.3 thousand subscribers. So we are almost at 50k. Once we hit 50k, we will be doing a YouTube giveaway for some most likely crypto. And it's very simple. All you have to do to enter that when we post about it, you just have to be subscribed. Maybe we'll have some other terms in the video, but yeah, we'll just be giving away Bitcoin to a couple people just as a 50,000 subscriber special. And then we will be posting a bunch to the YouTube. We'll be posting a lot of full-length YouTube videos. Some we're starting up a podcast, and we're gonna have some live shows and some different content. So definitely tune in for that. And then we're gonna do that giveaway at 50k. Should be hitting 100k very soon. We'll be pushing a lot of videos out. We'll have an even bigger giveaway at 100k. But yeah, stay tuned for that. I just want to put that out there. So that's why there's the counter at the top. Once we hit 50k, we'll be running that giveaway. But yeah, we can go back and see if there's any new news. Let me hit here it is. This is the chart that I was trying to look at, or not the chart, but the list of companies. But yeah, let me refresh here. So if you have any new crypto news for the day, we can continue to look over that. Drop anything in the chat if you guys have any questions, or if you want to just go over anything. 95% chance the Federal Reserve cuts interest rates by 25 BPS tomorrow, according to Polymarket. This is obviously according to Polymarket. Let me know if any of you use Polymarket, but usually it's pretty accurate in its predictions. The Bitcoin 4-year cycle is about, this is Kathy Wood saying the Bitcoin 4-year cycle is about to be disrupted. Volatility collapsing, and piling down, drawdown, shrinking from 80% to 30%. Kathy believes the old bear cycle is dying, and the recent dip means the bottom might already be in. Let's check this out.
Bitcoin is behaving more like a risk-on asset. It has played the risk-off role at different times during the European sovereign debt crisis, during our regional bank crisis. But right now, it's risk-on. It is climbing another wall of worry, and that is the 4-year cycle. We think the 4-year cycle is going to be disrupted, and what I mean by that is Bitcoin regularly dropped 75 to 90% in its early days. The volatility is going down. It's down about 30 some odd percent. And I think there's a fear of the 4-year cycle. We think that the move by institutions into this new asset class is going to prevent much more of a decline. We may have seen the low a couple of weeks ago. Bitcoin is behaving more like a risk-on asset. It has played the risk-off role.
Yeah, so this has been a big topic where a lot of people are saying that the 4-year cycle is dead, and with the you could see she was saying the volatility dropping from 80% to 30%. So many more people are exposed to Bitcoin, buying Bitcoin, and just crypto in general. So obviously we used to see these huge drawdowns, and here we go to Bitcoin. We'll go to the monthly chart. You can obviously see I even have these lines. These red lines are the every Bitcoin halving. You can see Bitcoin halves, the bear market turns to bull, then turns to bear, turns to bull, turns to bear, turns to bull. And then now that like you can just see since like 2022, the rise has been huge, and these drawdowns haven't lasted that long. Like you can see like these like drawdowns lasted a couple months into huge gains, down 2 months, up huge gains. Now we're down 2 months into the third month of the drawdown. I guess if you can well, here we did hit all-time highs, but yeah, if we continue even just on this sort of obviously I don't want to sorry, here switch it to here. You can see I don't want to start drawing lines and stuff, but like you can see here, if we take this, we continue on this sort of trajectory, like these drawdowns moving us up, like we'll be hitting 150k in the next couple months, continuing this this cycle. And I do also believe the bull bear like 4-year cycle is done. There's just so much exposed in so many countries and institutions pushing Bitcoin that like obviously you've seen it in recent times. The higher the Bitcoin price goes, the less volatile it becomes, because there's so many people backing it, so many people holding it, and you can see it's just been riding the chart of market cap. It's literally a top asset worldwide, and it'll just continue pushing up. People have these predictions of a 500k Bitcoin in the next year or two, $1 million Bitcoin in the next couple of years. Even Michael Saylor himself pushing this this idea, which is massive. Like if like we're just seeing that Kathy Woods take, if we are at the bottom, we have a huge rise to go during the next year. Like I was saying, we come back and hit. Let me switch to the daily chart for you here. You can see if we hit 100k again by the end of this month, that's lining us up for 2026 in a we're playing around this 100k. We're just a hop, skip, and a jump from that, from all-time highs at 126. But yeah, I believe this whole cycle, the 4-year cycle theory is over, and we're just gonna continue. Like I can pull up the gold price. Like you could see like the gold, like we're turning more into a gold type of asset, where you can see like, wow. Let me check the monthly on here. Like here you can see, like obviously I don't want to speculate with the gold prices, but like you can see like where there's pumps and drops and pumps and drops. Even like here, and like this is like 2015 drop, but like you can see just a slow rise continuously over the years. And obviously gold has been skyrocketing recently. You can see this is absolutely crazy. But yeah, there's a good chance that Bitcoin becomes so big that it's going to continue on this sort of market structure. You can see like it obviously, like currently you can see, obviously let me erase this, but yeah, you can see if I switch this to the 12, like this is the yearly Bitcoin chart, like it just makes sense. Obviously there's huge wick this year up and down, but you'll see, you can just see if at any point you bought Bitcoin, you're up. Obviously if you bought up here, but like same type of situation, people who are buying Bitcoin at 58k after it dropped down to like 15, you're still up. Like no matter what, if you're in it for the long, you're still up 36%. At the highs you're up 85%. If you're bullish on Bitcoin for the long run, like these people like Michael Saylor and all these people who are bullish on Bitcoin and crypto, you're bullish on the long run, and you're just either dollar cost averaging your portfolio, which is the best way to do it, and you're just slowly buying as much, not as much as you can, but like as often as you can. Like almost guaranteed increase. It's like, why buy the S&P 500 index fund? What you obviously guarantee yourself almost a 10% rise every year, when here you can buy and you'll have years. Like, I don't want to like just I don't want to just isolate one year like this 122. Obviously, there's years like this. And what year was this? This was 2022, where you're down 60%. But like I was saying, you're in it for the long run. You're down 60% one year, and the next 2 years you're up 450%, which is just crazy. So that's my way of looking at it. But yeah, take it as you will. But continue here. UK invites crypto firms to help make new rules. The FCA has opened a consult asking crypto companies to help them with writing UK investment rules. Wow, that's good. That's nice. But I don't know if this is. Oh, I guess they're asking crypto companies. So crypto is expanding. I guess the UK seeing how successful the US is handling Bitcoin and is trying to get a piece of their pie, which they definitely should. Oh, here, this is Jack Mallard. We were going over this. Their company just got listed on the Nasdaq and is now the third company, I believe. Let me check here. They're the number 3 company, I believe. Yeah, top 3 company holding Bitcoin with 37,000 Bitcoin in holdings. So let's see him. He's talking about they're going to buy as much Bitcoin as they possibly can.
Who should buy your stock? Why wouldn't they just buy Bitcoin then?
Well, because they don't have Tether, SoftBank, and the cash flows that we'll produce. So, I agree with that. We do not want the market to think of us and price us as just a treasury asset. That is not us at all. We're going to acquire as much Bitcoin as we possibly can. I mean, I think it's crazy that we own over 4 times the amount of Bitcoin Coinbase does, and this is my first day in the public markets. But, we also want to build massive businesses, and I think the markets will appreciate, Tether's no slouch to that.
Who should buy?
See, another company taking the Michael Saylor ideology of just buy as much Bitcoin as you can, and obviously it's hard to disagree with it after seeing how successful MicroStrategy has been. But yeah, they're number 3 right now in Bitcoin holdings by public company. They just went public, but yeah, they're holding around 40K Bitcoin, which is massive. Let me just see how much percent that is. That's 0.177% of the total supply. MicroStrategy alone holds 3%, which is obviously massive. Bitcoin bears are in trouble. They don't even know why yet. Here are just some more technical analysis. I'm not going to go too far into some technical analysis and predictions, but we're just looking at general consensus. Binance secures the first ever global license under ADGM framework in UAE. Global credibility unlocked. CZ says crypto could enter another super cycle by 2026, driven by US politics, Fed easing, and institutional adoption. The Fed is cutting rates. US politics, obviously it's been a bumpy ride with Trump and these tariff news, and obviously he is in some way still pushing crypto and being pro crypto, but it's a little hard with all these tariff news. Obviously I can't say I think they're done, but we'll see how it continues. Yeah, Bitcoin's back at 40K. Yeah, there's just a lot of these downtrend breaking. I believe we have broken this downtrend, but obviously I don't want to push that narrative too much. Yeah, there's a lot of news on Bitcoin hitting 94K. Ethereum reclaims 3,300. Yeah, this is a nice chart just to look at, honestly. Huge green candles. Aster announced the start of its human versus AI trading battles. It'd be a nice study to look at. See how AI trades crypto. That would be a good video also. In the past 4 hours, 201 million was wiped out as 187 came from shorts and 14 million came from longs. Wow, a lot of these people shorting Bitcoin have been liquidated. Good to see where we're reversing though. But yeah. I'm gonna end the stream there. Just a quick stream for today. We are getting back to consistently posting, and we will be continuously streaming. I will most likely post a schedule of when once we get back in the gist of it. I'll post a most likely streaming schedule, and then in a month or so we should have another stream. Show style stream where we go over more in depth and more maybe have some people interviewed live and have a lot more content, but we'll be announcing that as we get that going. But yeah, currently just make sure you subscribe. We have a 50k giveaway happening once we hit 50k. We're very close. Currently at 46.3k. So make sure you subscribe, and then also just, yeah, check out our website, and we'll continue posting. Should be live hopefully in 2 days. This is, yeah, we'll have me most likely Thursday, but yeah, I will see you then. See you guys.